This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, and we're here with Theresa Jeane of the Nearly Deads. Do you trust the government or the corporations?
I don't trust the corporations. Just growing up in a military family, all I know is that it's not that I trust them, it's just that there are so many levels to things that the public isn't aware of that I just don't I don't want to say I don't believe anything, but I think there's a lot of things that we don't understand and we're not told for a reason. And so in that way, I guess I do have more faith in the government. Definitely not corporations, though. That's just greedy people.
But don't you think the government is corporations?
I don't know enough about it. Would just depend, really. I don't. That's a good question. I don't really know how I feel about that.
If forced to, would you allow a corporate entity to implant an RFID chip in your hand or body?
No. Oh, if forced to, what would my option be? Like
either that or get beheaded.
Oh, I would let them do it.
You would?
I wouldn't want to die.
Were you raised in a spiritual family?
I definitely was, but that's definitely not something that is part of my life anymore.
So did you reject Christianity?
That's a good question. I don't think I ever truly, even when I was a kid, I hated going to church. I always thought there was something really telling about that.
Which living person do you most admire?
Ooh, that's a good question. I immediately just think about my mother and my sister, just my family. Like, how could it be anybody else than your own mother who like inspires you to be a good person and who raised you to be good? And she supports me 100%, so does my sister.
What brings you the most peace in your life right now?
Playing with my cat, just quiet alone time, breathing exercises, yoga, going to the gym, like running for a while, just alone time.
How has the massive rise of terrorist attacks and universal unrest changed your perspective on life in the entertainment business?
It seems some days that what we do isn't important. Like the entertainment industry is trivial compared to doing something in your life with a little bit more purpose. So that's made me reevaluate. You know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not in the military. I'm just like, man, I should be doing something more, shouldn't I? But then I think, okay, but maybe I am. Maybe I'm inspiring somebody else who's in the military or who's doing this, or maybe I'm helping somebody with their depression or with their addiction by my music and my voice. And so I think the most important thing is to take the gifts that you have and that you're given and use them to the best of your ability. Don't, and if it's not what somebody else has chosen with their life, then that's okay. And that music can still be really healing and really important to people, no matter how, trivial it might seem at times.
What advice would you give to somebody who's struggling with addiction, like heroin addiction or drug addiction? Reach
out to somebody. Like, you're not alone. If anybody, like I tell people all the time, you've got us, you've got the band, like we'll talk to you. If you have no one else to talk to, like, just don't ever think that you're alone. There's always somebody who's willing to talk to you. And there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know. That sounds really cliche. I've never personally struggled with it, but we definitely have some fans that reach out to us and say that our music has helped them, and it's very humbling. And I just want people to know that just admitting that you have a problem and reaching out, that, even if you don't have family or friends, there's going to be somebody out there. If nobody else, the Nearly Deads will talk to you.
What or who is the greatest love of your life?
That's a good question. The greatest love of my life. I'll go with what, and I'll just say just music and playing the piano. That's, I think, when I'm at most peace with myself, when I'm just like alone at the piano. Nobody, at the end of the day, it's just you're all that you have. I definitely am in love. I definitely have a love of my life, but so definitely him as well. And my family and my friends. Yeah, just a lot of love all around.
What is your greatest fear?
I'll just say dying. I don't know if that I'm necessarily scared of it. I just, it's just a daunting thought. I want to do everything I possibly can in this lifetime. And I think I get more anxiety thinking of squeezing everything into this short lifetime, kind of a thing. There's definitely things that I'm scared of. I mean, there's so many musicians that have been assassinated, even Christina Grimmie.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I am definitely scared of something like that happening. When we talked about social media and how accessible you can seem to people when you're really not, those things do frighten me for sure.
Okay.
Something like that happening definitely frightens me, because to me, I'm just me. We're just standing here. You know, you never know what somebody out there is making up in their head about you.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately is like what happened to her, and it's terrible. It's a tragedy, and it happens to people every day. Not just people who are in the public eye, but like people who are just online talking to people they don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Those kind of things are terrifying.
Do you believe that Satan is the Lord of this world?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Do you think fame is fleeting? And if so, what really matters at the end of the day?
What really matters at the end of the day is your loved ones, the people you have around you, the impact you've made on the people, how you feel about yourself, the pride that you have in yourself. Success is definitely not defined by fame or money. It's in your inner happiness, for sure. And I think everybody on this planet is just trying to find that inner happiness. And what that means for me is different than you, different from anybody else, anybody who comes to one of our shows, any one of our fans. Fame is fascinating. I don't know if I would call it fleeting, because there's definitely legends, you know, that will live on forever, you know, even Mozart or somebody like that. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. It's people who create fame, not the person themselves.
Do you believe Jesus Christ is God?
I'm not a very religious person, no.
What do you love most about connecting with your fans?
Just hearing their stories, just, you know, knowing that we've made a difference in their life. And they're very inspirational to me as well, to keep me going in what we do, because it's not always easy to keep going, keep doing it. So yeah, just having them sing along, having them, you know, tell us how our music has helped them through a difficult time, you know, that keeps me wanting to keep creating music.
You do have a higher power?
The things I believe in, definitely positivity, love, things like that, which I think are very Christian values, or very universal values that there's so many things that we don't know, that people will never know, that it's impossible to know. And so I think I just subscribe to that. You can have morals, and you can be positive and have love for people, and believe in the, you know, power of the universe without necessarily a fictional entity to attach that to.
That's a subjective, a subjective interpretation.
Yes, that's my view. Yes.
Yeah. What would you like your legacy to be?
Known as a respected musician, and a respected singer, but mostly just like a good, positive person. I just want people to remember me as nice. I don't know. I just want, you know, just to be remembered in general would be nice, you know. But it's more important to be remembered just by my loved ones and my family, you know. I don't have any children yet. I don't know if I will. I've thought about adopting, and I think leaving a legacy, you know, having a family is a big part of that, because I feel like it's more personal than, you know, oh, I want to be famous and leave this huge legacy. It's like, well, that would be great, but like, at the end of the day, like, I got to focus on, you know, just being remembered by my family and my loved ones first and foremost.
How would you define the word love?
I would define love as a connection, like almost like a physical force that bonds people together.
What advice would you give somebody contemplating suicide?
I would definitely tell them that that's not always the answer, and that there's always somebody to talk to, whether or not you believe there is or not. A lot of people who have contemplated suicide, who have talked to me or reached out to me personally, that's been their number one thing. I have no one to talk to. My family doesn't support me. My mother, it's my father, it's my whoever. And I'm like, you know what? I care about you. I love you. I don't even know you. But there's people all over the world who have this potential to love you and who will want to love you. So if you're not finding that within your family, which I feel like happens to a lot of people who are driven to that point, I mean, if you have a loving family, I don't personally understand, you know, how you could get to that point. I understand there's depression, there's issues that people have, but there's always help, there's always hope, there's always somebody out there who will listen to you and who wants to listen to you.
How do you like making music videos?
I love it. We do everything like as if we're making a miniature movie. There's My Evil Ways, and then Diamond in the Rough just got released. That's the post-apocalyptic video.
Okay.
So there's 2 brand new videos. We have a lot of fun with it. I'm a big fan of the old Foo Fighters videos when they used to do like the Futos commercial.
Yeah.
That was my favorite like video of all time, and I was like, why not? You know, that's the whole point of being in a band, is to have fun and do stuff like that. So we just goof off with it. Like the Diamond in the Rough video is basically like a live action Fallout 4 video game, like with a band performance in the middle of it. So yeah, we have tons of fun. I love it. I can't wait to make more videos. It's like one of my favorite things to do.
What's next for you?
We are, finishing up this leg of the tour. We're only halfway through at this point, which is crazy to think. It feels like it's been forever. We're doing Rockfest in Wisconsin this summer.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be a big festival. Probably our biggest festival that we've ever played. So I'm excited about that. And we're just, we'll see how it goes in LA. Maybe there'll be some bigger and better things for us after these few shows. Working on new tours, more bands to go on tour with, stuff like that.
Well, you guys totally rock. Your album, the music I've heard is just really punchy.
Thank you.
And your voice sounds great, and you write great melodies.
A music first kind of person. I'm not a lyric first kind of person. There's two different kinds of songwriters, I believe.
Okay.
I definitely start with the music and the melody, and I kind of fit words and a mood. I go, what do I want to sing about? And then I kind of do that, and then try to make a creative melody. But I definitely credit like my classical composition training to my songwriting ability.
You worked at Hot Topic during the time that you were in college, correct?
Yes.
Okay, did that help give you the skills to market the band?
Oh my gosh, yes. All that retail experience. I do it every night when I set up my merch store at my, it's not only Hot Topic. Where else did I work? I worked at Journeys. Journeys was awesome.
Wow.
I sold shoes, and that was cool because we got to play the Journeys Backyard Barbecue, and now Journeys like sponsors Warped Tour, and so we still have a lot of friends there. They play our music videos now, so it's not only like, okay, well, I know how to sell stuff, but I, have friends there that will love our music, and we're all part of that whole scene now, so it's pretty cool.
Theresa, thank you. You just got to experience Blairing Out with Eric Blair.
Yeah, it was great.
This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show with Theresa Jeane of the Nearly Dead signing off. Bye-bye. Thank you again, sister.
You're welcome.
The Blairing Out Show.